So we have hit that point in the year where I have absolutely no interest in wanting to read any of the books on my shelf currently. I just finished reading the last book of the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and I finished reading The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum with the introduction by Judy Blume. And well, it was very cute and fun. I feel like I'm worried that I'm slipping into a reading slump again, and my books are just not singing to me, or it's just not the right time. And since I have a business trip coming up tomorrow, I need some books to read at the airport, and I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to do an audiobook or anything else, so I decided to fix that problem by getting some new books at Target. I have an issue, guys. It's fine. I'm fine. I am bringing these 2 new books with me to my trip, and I'm very excited to dig into them. The first one is the prequel to Good Girl's Guide to Murder called Killjoy. And then this one is The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak. Comment down below if I'm saying this name wrong. I apologize. My brain is just really fried right now, but I'm very excited to read this. The king of booktube himself, Jack Edwards, recommended this, and I was ecstatic to see that this was at Target. And honestly, do I really need to provide an explanation for this one? I'm a simple girl. I see a Holly Jackson book that's related to Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I buy it. So yeah, I'll be bringing these 2 books with me, and I'll probably get started on this one tonight since it's a little bit shorter. Then I'll probably finish it on the plane ride over, and then I'll get started on this one. So I have to finish up some packing for my trip, and I will fall asleep and do an update in the morning, and I will bring you all with me to New Orleans. Morning, we are about to head off to New Orleans. I'm just waiting on my ride to get here, but yeah, I was able to read a little bit more of Killjoy last night, so I'm gonna make some more progress while I'm at the airport, and hopefully I can get it done before I get to the place I'm going to. So I'll see y'all next location. Hello, we're in a new location. So welcome to New Orleans. I am here for my work conference, so I was able to get through Killjoy during my plane ride. I read about like 30 pages last night, and I finally finished it this morning. So this is a fun little prequel that sort of explains how our main character Pip gets into murder mysteries and finally decides to investigate the Andy Bell case in the first book that pretty much directs the whole series. So that was really fun, and this edition that I have also gave the little blurb for the first Good Girl's Guide to Murder series and a snippet of Holly Jackson's new book, 5 Survive. So I really did like having the little segment of Good Girl's Guide to Murder again, just because I forgot what happened in it, and it was sort of like a nice little reminder knowing everything that's happened in the series. Like, I get a little tear-eyed seeing some of the names where I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot that character was such a jerk. So it was really fun. And then the 5 Survive segment, I don't really know if I liked that one as much, just because I felt the characters were a little cruel to each other. So I don't know how I feel about it quite yet, but if you have read 5 Survive, let me know in the comments below, or just sort of say like, hey, I know, steer clear, or hey, like, give it another chance. It actually is quite good. So I'm very excited for that. So while on my second flight and at the other airport, I started reading The Island of Missing Trees. I'm trying to figure out how to best phrase this, so I might just read you the blurb so that way you can get a better sense of what the book is about, because I feel like I'm going to put this to shame. So please read the blurb instead, because I'm going to put this book to shame. 2 teenagers, a Greek Cypriot and a Turkish Cypriot, meet at a taverna on an island they both call home. In this taverna, hidden beneath garlands of garlic, chili peppers, and creeping honeysuckle, Costas and Daphne grew in their forbidden love for each other. A fig tree stretches through a cavity in the roof, and this tree bears witness to their hushed, happy meetings and eventually to their silent, surreptitious departures. The tree is there when war breaks out, when the capital is reduced to ashes and rubble, and when the teenagers vanish. Decades later, Costas returns. He is a botanist looking for native species, but really, he's searching for lost love. Years later, a ficus carica grows in the back garden of a house in London where Ada Kazan... Oh god, I'm going to butcher this last name, I apologize. Ada Kazantzakis lives. I think that's how I said it. I don't know. I'm so sorry for the mispronunciation. This tree's the only connection to an island she's never visited, her only connection to her family's troubled history, and her complex identity as she seeks to untangle years of secrets to find her place in the world. A moving, beautifully written, and delicately structured story of love, division, transcendence, history, and ego consciousness. The Island of Missing Trees is Elif Shafak's best work yet. So that's the blurb. Put it a lot better into words than I try to put with it. It really is cool to see how it's all going to piece together. I'm about 86 pages in, so I am very excited to keep reading this. It goes back and forth from the family to the perspective of the fig tree that's growing in the backyard, so I think that's actually super cool. It is a little pretentious at times, and I don't know if I like Ada as a character quite yet, but I am intrigued to see how it's going to keep progressing forward and how we're going to get the parents' backstory intermixed with Ada's current story. So I will keep going with this, and I will keep giving you my thoughts. I know I've got some events going on for the convention I'm here for, so I might not be able to film as much, but I figured I could at least give you updates and hopefully try to take y'all with me around New Orleans. So I'm going to go to bed and keep reading, and I will see you in the morning. Well, good morning. It's now Tuesday. I did my first part of the convention yesterday. So I was pretty much going at it from 8 to about 4 in the afternoon, and then we went out for dinner, and I didn't get back to my room until 10. So hence why I wasn't able to film as much yesterday, but I got more of The Island of the Missing Trees read. So it is putting together a lot more of the information. So you do find out that the fig tree, the Ficus caricum, came from Cyprus, and it was part of a tavern called the Happy Fig. And it's actually really cool to kind of see how the tree is able to kind of keep the story moving forward. I really like that it's going back and forth between the perspective of the tree to the perspective of the family. So I'm curious to see how it's going to keep unfolding, so I will provide you with more updates when I can. Looks great. So welcome back to Florida. Weeks later after the trip. I'm not gonna lie, I meant to film my conclusion after I got back from my trip, but I ended up getting sick the day after I returned from New Orleans, and with work and life, here I am with my final book reviews. So you kind of already heard my review on Killjoy and the Stories in here, but I didn't get a chance to talk about The Island of the Missing Trees that much. So I did finish reading it on the plane, and when I had time for me being sick, I was able to finish this. So I actually had mixed feelings about it because there were some elements that I absolutely loved. Like, I love the side characters and more of the historical element of it. And the writing was very beautiful and heart-wrenching. But I felt like some of the main characters could have been done a little bit better. I kind of wish we got to see a little bit more of the mom, because she kind of is the central element driving the characters together in this, beyond the love story between the mom and the dad and the daughter. And I know it was very much focused on the tree and the tree explaining the backstory while we also follow the daughter. But I just kind of wish that we got a little bit more of the mom's perspective. And the ending, too, was just kind of a little out of place. I understand that it's a magical realism book, but I felt like the ending didn't really work for me. It still is a good introduction into Turkish and Greek literature and studying more of the historical elements of that area. So it is a good place to start. Obviously there's other pieces of literature that can be explored, but this is a great start to it. I just think it probably could have needed a little help in certain areas, but yeah, like I said, the writing is very beautiful and very heartbreaking. And then obviously you know about Killjoy too, that I really liked the short story, and it was just a very funny little, just happy, uplifting look into murder mysteries. And obviously I like the addition of the first portion of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. 5 Survive, I'm not really 100% sure I enjoyed, but hopefully I can give it another chance. And if y'all have read 5 Survive and you say, hey, I'll read this, then obviously I'll read it. So these were the books that I read in New Orleans. I wanted to go and explore a bookshop there and hopefully try to pick up some more literature when I was over there, but unfortunately it just didn't wind up happening, and I was a little bit more focused on finishing this book. So hopefully if I'm able to go back in the future, I definitely will. So if you have any recommendations either on bookshops in New Orleans, or if you have any New Orleans based literature that you absolutely love, please let me know so that way I can find it. And yeah, I think that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video for what was able to be put together. Thank you so much for watching, and I will